Welcome to Holding Space. Michael Zinn is a visual producer and creative photographer using his imaginative visionary energy to channel Zen and hold space for spiritual and innovative discussion. Each episode creates a supportive, accepting, and open environment that allows exploration and expertise to come together with engaging and entertaining convergence. With guest and community all helping the shape of the way, Michael is grateful to be together to hold space. Now here is your host of Holding Space, Michael Zinn.
Yes, hello. I'm only here halfway. Here I am. How's it going? You heard him correctly. Michael Zinn, that's who I am. And here I am to hold some space, which is what I do every Tuesday. It is February 3rd. We now moved into February. We had a nice, relaxing January. Remember, I told you like last year, time speeds up at the end of the year. We're taking it slow. January, I felt each week. I didn't feel rushed. So here we are. It's the first week of February. It's February 3rd. It's still pretty cold outside. But here I am at Holding Space. This is a place where I invite a guest, another puzzle piece, another human soul, to have a conversation about their experience and what their puzzle piece is all about, so we can see how we all fit together and how it all looks when we do fit together. And that's what Holding Space is about. So welcome. I'm glad that you guys showed up. I see a lot of people in the chat room. Let me say hello. I see Evelyn. What is up? I see Roxals. What's happening? Bernadette. Linda here from North Dakota. Cool. I was just talking about North Dakota. Funny. I see Evelyn. I said hello, Evelyn. Lisa is out there joining from California. What's up? I love it. We're spreading across the country right now. Hopefully we get some international. Maybe Vivian will show up from Hawaii. I love when that happens. Crystal is here as well. Awesome. Welcome, you guys, for showing up. I really appreciate it. This show is on the Sacred Spiral Network, so a little shout out to the Sacred Spiral Network. A great place to experience some cool things if you've got an open mind and you're into the metaphysical kinds of vibe. There's a lot of that happening there. I know a lot of people go to watch shows to get readings. Maybe that'll happen here tonight. Who knows? Sometimes it happens on my show. I don't practice mediumship. I'm not a psychic medium. I don't practice anything specific metaphysically. But I practice it all. I mean, we're all a part of it all, and it's all about energy to me. It's all about frequency. It's all about essence, and more important than all those things that it's about, I think it's about being aware that those are the other things that it's about, and being in control of your own essence and your own frequency and your own energy. All of those things. So let's take a moment to zoom in together and connect. For those of you who've been here before, you know Sage is coming on stage. I usually sage the space, clear it out, but not with the traditional burning sage, with the crystal bowl, not the crystal bowl, sorry, the singing bowl, and we do 3 breaths together. So if you forgot how to do that, it's pretty easy. It's in through the nose. We hold it for a second, and then this part is maybe a little different than regular, which is where we push it out. We let go of the things that we don't need. Anything that happened today, the guy that cut you off or whatever, you don't need that in your head. You don't need that energy. It's a chance to clear it out. So let's do it. All right, here we go. In through the nose. Hold it, and then out. Number 2. In through the nose, hold it up at the top, take a little more, and then let it out. One last one together. In through the nose, hold it up at the top, let it out. Oh my God, I love it. Breathing is fundamental. I know I say that every week, but It's so true. That saying it has become fundamental. I don't know if you could still hear that, guys, but Sage is still ringing. It's amazing. I love it. I don't want to put her down until she's kind of finished. I feel like that's disrespectful if I put her down until she's done. Here we go. All right. Did everybody feel that? Are we good? Are we ready to go? All right. Awesome. I'm excited tonight because it's new friend night. Usually is here on Holding Space. The show started, I was like interviewing all my friends and everybody I knew, and it was great because I knew the stories. But now I'm learning about people live on the air with you, and I'm giving people who are like tonight's guest, a psychic medium, who I guess I was thinking about this today. Usually a psychic medium shows up in a situation and they're kind of expected to not, I don't want to say perform, but they're expected to exercise their gift, right, and share their gift. And here in Holding Space, I give them the chance to also share their story and who they are and how they became who they are. And I personally love hearing those stories. So let's hear another one tonight. Welcome to Holding Space, Jess Walton. How you doing, Jess?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Michael. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. I love that. That makes me feel good. Like imagine you're hosting a party and someone comes and they tell you, "I'm excited to be at this party." I love that. That's great.
Woo!
I see Arnie Layton is out there reminding me with the hashtag live. The hashtag live tradition is a intentional tickling of the algorithm. If you're out there, just say hello and hashtag live just tickles the algorithm and it lets the algorithm know there's something going on that it should show up in other people's feeds and we grow this amazing community. You guys are all amazing. I see Amy out there as well, and I see Mark, all sorts of people showing up. I see those seats filling up in my brain. I'm looking out at an amazing lighted
Awesome.
crowd. I love
Yeah.
it.
Hi
So
to
you
everybody.
hello. So you come to me through Kelly, who has
Yeah.
been kind of like my booking agent here for Holding Space. Thank you, much obliged to Kelly Brickle. And she's been sending some amazing people my way. We spoke briefly. I looked a little bit up about you and found out that you have had experiences when you were younger, which, everybody's story is a little bit different, right? Some
Yeah.
people come into it when they're older. So I want to hear about that. But on my other show, the live stream of consciousness, I usually ask, "What is consciousness?" as my first question, and we get into that, and every answer is different but correct. Um, but my next question is more pertinent for this show, I think, and that is, do you have a specific moment or story about when you realized there was something more to it than just the three-dimensional world that you've been kind of presented?
hmm I think for me, um, my journey really began at birth because I was born with some more minor issues with my legs. So I spent, yearly appointments going to Shriners Children's Hospital.
Wow.
And so that really had a big impact on empathy for me, just growing up, seeing these kids who were so much worse off. And,
Mm.
it really had an impact and it shaped me.
Mhm, mhm.
But then growing up throughout life, I would have these little psychic moments. I would say more psychic things would happen to me when I was younger. Just like little things like knowing what song was going to be on the radio next,
Right,
or,
right, right.
just like having dreams and, little silly things, but they would come to be, months down the line or things like that. But the mediumship, that one happened when I was 12 years old. And that was kind of the moment where I was like, okay, yes, this is really something different and not normal,
Right, right, right.
because I had actually seen a spirit at the end of my bed. So I was like, okay, yeah, there's no talking myself out of this one.
Wow.
Yeah. So
And
that was
so,
pretty
yeah,
incredible.
how did that affect you? I mean, is that like a defining kind of before and after moment for you, where you're like, okay, there is this other realm and I can interact with it?
I would say it was more like things would happen more sporadically. I didn't have a great understanding, and I didn't know until actually 3 years ago that you could actually work to develop your psychic and mediumship. So I kind of always thought it was just like you get what you get, kind of thing.
Interesting. It's
Hmm.
interesting that you say that. As you say that, I'm like, wow, you know what? That's kind of before I was kind of involved, right? Like, I may not have realized that either, right? Like you just thought, oh,
Hmm.
you're born that way and you're gifted, not realizing like, oh, this is like fitness, right? If you're into
Yeah.
developing your muscles and you want to look good, you work at it, and
Hmm.
and it's like a muscle that you can work at. That's really interesting. I also want to just go back for a second because I thought
Yeah.
it was also important what you said, that you had issues, when you were born, and so you were in
Hmm.
the hospital all the time, but you were seeing people that were worse off than you,
Yep.
and it kind of created this interesting empathy, in you, and more sensitive, I think, to other people's situations, even though you had your own situation, which to
Hmm.
you didn't seem so bad because you were
Yep.
seeing, that's amazing. I think that's really um a good way to develop your heart, like,
Yep.
interesting. Yeah, very
Thank
cool.
you. And my mother's side of the family is Hispanic, also from South America. So I grew up, helping to take care of my great grandmother when she would come to visit. She had Alzheimer's and dementia. And I could just remember like my friends coming over and they're like, this is so strange and different. But like to
Mhm,
me, it
mhm,
was, just helping somebody I loved. So
mhm, mhm.
just, I think I just saw the world differently from a young age for sure.
Right. Wow. Okay. So, and then at 12 years old, you said you saw a spirit at the end of your bed,
Yes.
and then you said it didn't really happen much right after that until much later in life. Like,
Yeah,
tell us what happened in between.
it was sporadic. So that first encounter, I don't believe I was scared because, I felt like the spirit was going to harm me. I was just scared because, like, what is going on? What is happening?
Hmm, hmm,
Kind of thing.
hmm,
Um, but the spirit presented as a young male, and I do believe and know in my heart that it was actually my grandfather, but he was presenting younger to
hmm,
not
hmm,
scare me as bad.
hmm, hmm,
Um,
hmm. Wow.
mhm. And uh, then there would just be things, there would be knowing. See, with the developing with the mediumship, I think I've probably had a lot more mediumship experiences that I just wasn't aware of at the
Hmm,
time
hmm, hmm.
because,
Right.
the TV sensationalizes it like they're all going to be these giant moments. But
Hmm,
a
hmm,
lot
hmm,
of
hmm,
mediumship is just so subtle, and
hmm.
there's just this trusting in spirit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I've had a lot more than I was, aware of at the time. But
I love that too. That's interesting too, because I feel that too. Like, you'll remember now, like, oh my God, when this happened, it was a message coming through, or it was, some sort
mhm,
of connection to the other realm. And I think, also, like what you just said, is related to the idea of exercising that muscle, right?
yeah,
And great. I love this story so far.
thank you. Yeah, and I think one thing I learned with mediumship also was, when you randomly think of somebody, it's not random. They are
Mhm,
actually there with you in the moment.
mhm,
So I
mhm,
think that happens to everybody all the
mhm,
time.
mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of just, think about that and be aware of that
Yeah.
person in spirit is right with you.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I always try to, not always, but very recently, I try to comfort people who I see are grieving, and I see that they're very emotional and thinking about their father, maybe who passed last year, and I said, those thoughts that you have, that feeling is him, right? Like, that's him,
Mhm.
and try to like hold that, right, and be happy, like, oh my God, he's here with you in that thought. And
Yeah.
that's really how I see it, and it's, again, not necessarily practicing myself as a psychic, but understanding that we all have the ability to sense these things.
Yeah.
Like, definitely empathy, right? Like when I'm
Hmm.
around somebody who's grieving and crying, like I almost start crying, right? It's a very emotional feeling
Yeah.
because I'm very sensitive to it. And so, kind of being able to convey that, like, oh, and feel it, right? Like in there crying, like, oh my God, your dad, you're thinking about him, you're talking about him to me, telling me how sad you are. I feel him. He's here right now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, amazing. Very cool.
Yeah. It is beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. So you were also saying earlier, when I said it's it connects to the idea of exercising that muscle. You said, it was what you said that made me think of that. Oh, it was, you said it's not always this big moment, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's sometimes something very, very subtle. And I think
Hmm.
that's where I think that training comes in, right? Like being like, oh,
Yeah.
wait a second, I'm not waiting for a big, like, it's a blue thing or this or that, but like
Hmm.
I'm waiting for something that will mean that to me. And I've got to kind of exercise how to tune into that, right?
Yes. Just a lot of trust and just letting go and surrendering,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is usually the hard part.
Yeah, no, listen, I agree, and maybe that's why I don't practice, right? Because I'm just like, you know what? I'm not ready to trust in that way or whatever. You know what I mean? I certainly have my own relationship with all of it, right? And I feel
Yeah.
like I'm comfortable with my relationship with energy and different realms, and it's super interesting. Like I love psychic mediumship. I love going to readings and being around it, but personally have no desire to go see a psychic and be like,
Mhm.
hey, can I talk to my granddad, or what's going to happen to me? I have no desire to do that, but when it's happening around me, I love it. Like I feel the energy.
Yeah,
I
you could
feel
feel the
it.
energy.
I definitely
Hmm.
do, and that's again, that's kind of what, led me here to having interviews with all sorts of people who do all sorts of stuff, and it's
Yeah.
it's just so it's just so cool to hear all the stories. So you mentioned that it's only been really a couple of years that you've been intentionally doing these exercising, right?
Yeah.
You just signed up at the psychic gym in the last couple of years, and
Yep.
I saw in my research that you work with Courtney Dawson, who's been on my show. She's amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
Courtney's awesome. She was my first mentor. She's spectacular.
yeah,
Now I'm doing some more of like energy healing mentorship with a woman named Christina Harderly. She's really
cool.
fantastic. And yeah, just
Very cool, very cool. I want to put up your website in just a minute, but I'm going to just run this one. I forgot to start the show, and this
thank
is
you.
just if for people who, are enjoying the show and you know might have a story to tell. Reach out to me. That's how sometimes I get my guests too. Don't be afraid. So I usually have that running, but I'm going to put your website up in just a minute when we
All right.
talk about it. I'm actually going to bring it up because I thought it was like really nice looking site and everything like that.
Oh, well,
But I
thank you.
do I do want to talk about, just like I said, like your last couple of years
Hmm.
getting into it. So, was Courtney was your first mentor?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
she is actually really spectacular. Um, it was my first development circle, so I think that was really what I needed. I needed not also just the teacher to build that support, but also the support of the class structure, like the other students too. So we
Hmm.
were all
Hmm.
growing and learning at the same time, and we could
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
resonate with, everything we're going through, which is really
Yeah.
important.
Yeah,
So,
totally. I totally agree, and I would definitely recommend. Again, like you even mentioned, I was like, oh, that's so true. Some people don't even realize that, there are classes that are intuition development classes, right? And in
mhm,
all different, modalities, right? Even like, I mean, I took a class on reading Akashic records, and we had to
very
practice
cool.
on each other as part of that. You know what I mean? And I think some of the lessons or exercises. What do they call it? spiritual surgery, psychic surgery.
Mhm.
It was just certain exercises that you went through with reading paragraphs out loud to each other, and then if you tripped on a word or had trouble with a word, you stopped and then you analyzed that, right? You like,
Mhm.
what did that feel like? What shape did it take? You know, it was kind of like therapy. And
Yeah.
these really interesting exercises just to kind of really connect you with your own brain and self and mind and thoughts and all of that stuff. And
Mhm.
you know, I love it. Again, that's kind of why we're here talking, and why you guys in the audience are listening, right? You guys all love that shit, right? That stuff. It's all good. It turns us all on. So that's great. And
Yeah.
so, all right, so tell us about the last couple of years. What happened when you set your intention, right? Like, so over the years, you had these experiences that were like
Mhm.
tapping you on the shoulder, and then you intentionally made a decision. What happened
Yeah.
to find that moment?
So mediumship would get more pronounced when I would lose somebody I was close to, somebody I loved. And 3 years ago, I had lost a good friend of mine and my husband's. He had taken his own life, and
Mm,
that was just complete devastation to lose somebody in that way. It really sent me into this dark night of the soul, the spiritual awakening. And I mean, he was coming through right away.
mm,
Like that night, he was, at my bedside,
wow.
coming to me. And that
I
was
love to see you smile
really,
when you think of that. That's great.
it is. It's so incredible. And to have that comfort at that time, just,
Hmm. Hmm.
and to have him there. Um, but also at that time, there was a local metaphysical shop that had opened up, and they started doing little events and things. And that's
Hmm.
where I
Hmm.
had met our friend Michael Christopher, the
Oh,
psychic
nice.
medium.
Shout out to
And
Michael.
so, yeah, so he would kind of give little mini readings online. And, he was kind of confirming like the things I was seeing and what was happening. And like
Hmm.
spirit was
Hmm.
bringing through, like, why aren't you doing this yet? You're a
Right.
medium, you're psychic, like, come on.
Right, right.
So that was when I was like, oh, you can develop? Like, okay, thank you.
You know, it's
But
kind of it's kind of funny. Like you would think it's like, oh, it's just a scam, right? All psychics tell you
yeah.
you have a power, you have a power. But I just think it's the people that are around me, because everybody has that
Mhm.
story, that everybody that I know is like, yeah, psychic medium told me I have the ability. I'm like, we,
Oh,
so
and we know Michael's an OPS
yeah, yeah,
person.
amazing, amazing.
But yeah, so, after my friend had passed, I still had to go through all that healing. I had to do so much deep healing. Um, we all, I believe, have, the shadow work that we can do to
Mhm.
kind of help us with our own self-limiting beliefs. There was so many that I had to get through. Just being here doing a live is just something so completely different from my childhood. I never would think I would be sitting here right
And
now. So it's
how you feeling? How
pretty
you
good.
feeling right about now?
Good. I can't believe I'm doing it, but
That's
here I
great.
am.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what? I kind of take it for granted, right? Because I've been doing this for a couple of years, but I remember that feeling like, just like, oh my God, people are actually listening to what I'm saying. They care, you know what I mean? Like that feels really good. And it's like, it feels good because that's not why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? It's like I'm
Mhm.
not doing it for accolades or,
Yeah.
validation, but that people are out there anyway.
Yeah.
And people show up, all you guys, thank you guys for all your energy. I see the conversation going on, in the audience, and I see actually Kim is talking to Brian, who is a good friend of mine and now has a show, Brian Lar, the Wizard. Uh, be in the Light is his show on holding
Oh,
space,
yeah.
and he does like, he's actually the one who inspired me to do my bowl and my breathing at the beginning of the show, just to ground myself and ground everybody and bring us together for
Yeah.
that moment. But he had a great meditation, and they're talking about it in the chat room. That's why I'm going on this tangent. But he had a great meditation the other night, and they're just talking about it, and even that
Yeah.
we were talking about that earlier, right? This platform and how it connects people. I mean, for me, meditation, I probably wouldn't have started meditating on my own if I hadn't experienced it in a group, right? And that was like somebody who I really trusted and I knew well, and I went and it was amazing. But to be able to do that remotely, right, and just like
Yeah.
share an energy like that with people across the ether, I think it's really powerful.
It
So
absolutely is.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, we were talking about how diverse this network is, and it really just is incredible that, Kelly was able to build this and such diverse people. There's something for everybody, and it's just amazing.
Mhm. Yeah, I love it. I love it. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm holding
No,
space for you. I'm sorry. I saw so
it's
much
all good.
activity. I just wanted to acknowledge everybody. And again, I'm so grateful, right? We're grateful that people are even showing up and making us feel
Absolutely.
like, we could feel the energy through the chat, right? Through the screen.
Hmm. Definitely.
So continue on with this last, Michael Christopher. You were talking about meeting Michael Christopher, and
Yeah, so Michael's just been a really good friend and support. He's like a big brother. But yeah, he was the first one to see and acknowledge that. And then it was just kind of something I kept hearing. And so I'm like, okay, this is, something I should explore because I think I've known since I was real young. I knew in my heart, and the only thing I've been sure of is that I'm a healer of some sort.
Mhm.
And so then this is kind of more incredible and wild than I ever imagined. Like, I never was
Mhm,
young and
mhm,
thought,
mhm.
oh, I'm going to grow up to be a psychic medium or healer. It's pretty cool.
Right. It's very cool. I think it's great. Like, and I was even telling you, like, I never expected to be an on-screen personality, right? Having a show and interviewing people. But it feels so good to connect to people. It feels so good, to kind of hold space, right? That's where the
Mhm.
name came from. Hold space for somebody to bare their soul, right? And I think that's, even to I'm humbled that people come on my show and bare their soul, right? Because we don't
Yeah.
do that out in the world, right? When we're at our job and stuff, we're not as, bearing our soul as we should be. I think we should
Yeah.
be, but we're not.
That is true.
um, I wanted to let me switch this banner to your website so that people can see where to get in touch with you, find out a little bit more about you. I want to also put it up because
Thank
it was very,
you.
I love the colors. I just felt like there was something to the colors. You kind of matched the picture, the colors of the picture with this gradient, and it kind of matches the lighting in this photo. There's just something about the energy of it. I don't know. I'm like I'm a visual guy, so something about
Yeah.
it just was like I was really like, this is very cool. But here people can get in touch with you for readings and even distance energy healing, which is, again, we're kind of talking about that, right? The fact that we
Yeah.
can even have this show over the ether and feel each other's energy and, kind of create a connection, just intentional through intention. I love this
Mhm.
photo too. So there's your website, very beautifully done. People
Thank
can get in touch with
you.
you. And I see the cards. Are those actual cards that you use? Is that an actual photo, or is that?
Those are not the actual cards I use. I have a couple different decks,
Mhm.
and actually, I'm kind of sitting down and creating my own deck right now. So,
Oh, I love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
we'll
love
see.
that. What's it all about? Tell us more, or should we wait?
I'm still designing. I'm thinking of, like all the phrases or words that I'm going to be putting on them and just, yeah, developing right
Awesome.
now. So exciting.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I don't. I think Michael Christopher's in the audience. I saw him. But everybody's talking. Are you guys listening to us? Or are you guys just talking amongst yourselves? No, I'm just kidding. I know you're not actually talking. We don't hear the murmur. I just kind of see it visually over
Yeah.
there. But I love that. I love that everybody knows each other here. It's like a
Oh
little
yeah.
gathering. It's a little gathering.
It is.
Uh,
It's an incredible community. It really is.
Yeah, totally. So let's talk a little bit about creating tarot cards because
Mhm.
there's a bunch of different people who I know, Brian Lahr being one of them, Arnie Layton being one of them, who create amazing decks. Brian Lahr is a photographer who does light painting, and he just took these images that he created and put them into decks. Arnie creates his images, I believe, with AI
Yeah.
and some digital stuff. And it's just I think it's really cool that people can put their own energies into these decks.
Mhm.
And I'm actually working on an app, so we're going to talk about this later. That's going to
Oh,
allow people to design a deck, like tell it how many cards to be, tell it what kind of divinity to be, whether it's tarot or oracle or angel, the style of art
really?
that they want. Yeah, yeah. So I'm super excited about it. So you mentioning it,
Yeah.
even that you're designing a deck, I'm like, wow, people might
Mhm.
like this tool, to help them along in the process. Because it is, Brian is the one who kind of, I wanted to make my own deck, and I still haven't made my own deck because I respect the art of it so much because of what Brian told me about how he created his deck and where he did automatic writing, 72 nights in a
Mhm.
row or 78, 72. How many angels are there? With for all the angels, each angel came to him. He intentionally like brought them in, and it's just amazing. And Man, what a great time to be alive. I feel
It
like
is.
there's so many things going on and so many opportunities, and there's so much out there that's like turning people away that they don't even realize it. They're just concentrating on this dumpster fire that's going on, and they're
Mhm.
not even concentrating on the beautiful sunrises and sunsets that still happen every day. You know what I mean? um
Yeah.
it,
Which
it's
is so
it's
important.
it is really important. Hang on a second, I want to just wet my whistle here because I'm
Yeah, I'm excited to
cooking.
hear more about your card development
I can't wait
because
to, you know what? I'm excited because I have this platform and I'm going to show it here on this platform.
Mhm.
And I think there's a lot of people here who are going to be interested in it. It
Yep.
was actually inspired by Arnie and Brian, having made their own decks and kind of, I know how Arnie works. And I was like, oh, I wanted to make a tool for Arnie actually. So
Oh yeah.
I've been working with him. He's been my kind of my private beta tester, playing with the app a little bit. Um, and what's so cool about um, tarot and what I'm doing, right, is people make their own decks and maybe they choose something that really speaks to them, right? Like mermaid. Somebody wants to make a deck that's mermaid based, right? Because mermaids really speak to them. So
Yeah.
what they do is they take the mermaid lore and they combine it with whatever lore they're doing, right? If they're doing a tarot deck, they combine it with the tarot lore, and then there's the fool and the magician and the whole story to follow. Or oracle decks, there's specific kind of messages and themes in oracle decks. And angels, there are specific angels. Um, what I think is so cool is with this app being able to mix the lores of what you like and the lore of the cards and just create this whole thing. Anyway, I don't want
Mhm.
to. I'm not here to push my own app, um, but I'm
No,
excited
it's
about it. Yeah, I'm
yep.
excited
No
about it.
coincidences, so I'm
Yeah,
glad I brought that
exactly,
up.
exactly. I know we didn't talk about it, and I know that it takes a certain state of mind and energy to be doing this stuff. But do you happen to be sitting near a deck, and do you feel like maybe doing some readings for anyone in the audience if they're looking
Yeah,
for it?
sure.
Yeah?
I can
All
do
right,
I can do
awesome.
a few.
I didn't want to open it up to the audience until I got permission from Jess, but I just got permission. So if anybody here in the audience, which I know the Sacred Spiral audience loves to get readings, is looking for a reading, a little sample of Jess's connection with energetic essence, it will come through, and we already have some takers. I love it.
Oh, perfect.
Karina would love a reading. I don't know how, if you want to look in the chat and you feel drawn to somebody specific, or you want me to just pull people. You tell me how
Uh,
you want to do that.
Let's see. I guess you could pull people. Yeah, I'll start with Karina.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take a moment to feel into her energy. All right. I can't see the chat and the screen at the same time, but Karina, I got the temptation card for you. I feel like you're in this kind of moment of transition and making decisions where you can make decisions to move forward, but there's also that temptation to go back to things that are more comfortable for you. And more comfortable and maybe not the best fit for you. I almost feel like this might be a relationship. I don't want to get too nosy or pry, so just let me know if any of this resonates with you.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. That definitely seemed to come through nice and clearly to you. I like that. And let's just wait
Okay.
and see if Karina wants to up. She says yes.
Yep.
A little
Yes,
bit of
makes
validation.
sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sometimes the best things for us are also the hardest. So just keep that in mind. It might not be easy, but just try to stick with what's best for you in the long run. You know, make the best choice for yourself.
Awesome. I love how polite you're being. She's getting more specific. She's saying it's definitely
Okay.
a past relationship. It's not good for her, a friend. But you know what? I love your style there, Jess. Just
Yeah.
kind of, like, listen, I'm just giving the message. I'm not judging. Past
Yeah.
relationship. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a job. Whatever it might be. But very good. So and it appears, and this is kind of where I come in, right? Not in a psychic way, but kind of a
Yeah.
psychological way. It appears Karina already knows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She already knows. So awesome. Nice reading. And I'm going to go back a little bit because I want to make sure that I don't miss anybody. I believe Karina jumped in first, and then I thought I saw, oh my God, I thought I saw Arnie jump in as well. Arnie, yes, Arnie was next. Arnie would love
All
a
right,
message.
Arnie. Yes, I love Arnie's energy. I
Good
follow
friend.
him too, and I see his card readings. He's great.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. And how did you find Arnie? Just out of curiosity, because he's here on the East Coast with me.
I don't even remember, honestly. It was probably just
I love that.
along the
That's
way
amazing.
from the sacred
It doesn't matter
sprites.
now, does it?
Yeah,
It's
just
you
yeah.
came across him, you resonated with his energy, and now you're
Mm-hmm.
connected. I love that.
Yep.
Very cool.
All right. So Arnie, let's see what we got for you. So Arnie, I already know that you're kind of branching out and doing stuff a little bit differently and new for yourself, but I feel like so much excitement around this. Like, it's going to lead you to even other things you're not even aware of right now. Like, there's other paths. Oh, and how awesome. So for Arnie, we got Love Begins.
I love it. You know
Which
what?
is
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. I
no,
am
you're
totally
good.
feeling this, though. I'm totally feeling this. I think Arnie is loving himself again.
Yep. That is exactly what I'm feeling, because I know there's been some struggles and just, the heartaches along the way. And Arnie, you feel like you're really like getting that spark. Like that spark is reigniting in you. Like that self-love, that excitement for life again. Because I feel like for a while that really dwindled. And so there's just so much excitement for this, new self-love, new adventure, and all these incredible things that are happening for you.
Totally. And we got Evelyn is cheering, Arnie. I love this. I love this so much. I am seriously, my body is vibrating right
Oh,
now. I feel so good. I feel like so much love happening, and and these messages are just coming through that are like so spot on. And again, I don't practice this stuff, but I feel it. I just feel so good, Jess. Thank you.
oh yeah, you're an empath for sure. You
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. So I kind of I started these so that I can get back to them quickly. So right under Arnie, we had Crystal Lee.
Okay,
All new people.
Crystal
Thank you guys for
Lee.
showing up. These are all new names for me. I appreciate you guys
Yeah,
being here.
thank you. Crystal Lee, I feel like you are a busy girl. Like you feel like your energy is like constantly go, 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 go. Like I feel like you need a little bit of self-care. But good things. Good things, I feel. And the card I got for you is light. This is such a beautiful card. Like if
Mm,
you really look closely at it, the light is really coming from you. Like you're reaching for it, but you are the light.
mm.
You are just so full of love and joy and just care for others. I feel like you're a very caring, kind person, and you also go above and beyond for other people. Um, Let me know if that resonates.
Yeah, she said yes right away. Yeah.
Oh, good.
She said thank
And
you.
yeah, I think spirit's just telling me you need to, do a little bit of self-care because I feel like you do a lot for everybody else and you just need to do a little bit more for yourself.
Great. Awesome. Wow, you're just like you're stepping up to the plate and hitting them out of the park. I love this. This feels so good. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Brolic is looking for any insight is appreciated.
Okay, Brolic. Okay, Brolic, I feel like there's definitely some discontent with work. Like I feel like there's just this ungrounded, unsettled, just not jiving type situation, which in the moment can be, of course, upsetting and sort of depressing and not always so great. But the card that I got for you is Passion Ignited.
Mm,
And so with this, it's really a reminder that, sometimes the things that seem like they're not so great, they're actually pushing us into this brighter future. And it's kind of lighting this fire in you to make the changes that you need to live a better, more fulfilled life. So,
mm. Brolic, how does
mm,
that feel? He said when you were talking about the way it was, like there was some feelings and things going on. He said there definitely is.
yeah.
Um, so again, I feel like psychologically, like a lot of times, people are like, "Oh, I need an answer. I need an answer," and they know the answer.
Mhm.
Like they know, and it's just, oh yeah, it's not the answer I
Yeah.
wanted necessarily.
I
But
know it's,
mhm,
these hard situations that we don't want to deal with, it's like, can it all just be, easy and no turbulence? And,
mhm, mhm,
but that really is what kind of catapults you into making changes and doing things different and growing. So,
mhm. Yeah,
you know, just
absolutely.
kind of go with
And
that.
and Rock Salts says it's so neat how these can be for many here. I'm loving these messages, and that's important too. Like I think when you're into this stuff, I don't like using these words. When you're into this stuff, you do experience that. I think oftentimes, and again because everything is energy, and you may be on a similar frequency to someone who's getting that message and need to hear that message as well. A lot of times these messages are very, very basic human experiences that we need to go through, and they're just kind of advice almost on how to do it, or a mirror, holding up a mirror to it and saying, here it is, you can see it right here,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I love that. And speaking of rock salts, I believe rock salts was looking for some message as well. Let me go back
Okay.
here where my stars, whereas, oh my God, we've been using a lot of rock salts. Please, when I said anyone want a reading, he or she said,
Okay.
I would love that.
Okay, rock salts. I almost feel like there's a little bit of you feel maybe a little bit under the weather, I would say. Like your energy is not where you're used to. Like I feel like there's that drain there, but I feel like it's more of like a physical thing. Would that make sense to you?
All right, rock salts, you're up.
Yeah. And so for you, I got the solitude card. So I do feel like you need to replenish your energy for sure. Yeah. Another one where you need to, yeah, doing a lot of work. You need to take time for yourself to take care of yourself. Because, I mean, everybody's going to resonate with this, but the better you can take care of yourself, the more you can output and help take care of everything else you need to do in life. So definitely rest, rejuvenation. I'm hearing like you need to go out in nature. I don't know if you are like a nature buff, but I feel like if you can, depending, it's the time of year we are in, February, but if you're able to try to go in nature, like get some fresh air, like yeah, replenish. It'll be good.
Yeah, I like
Epsom
that.
salts, yeah.
And rock salt said at one point, I don't know if it's a he or she. Yes, I've been doing a lot of work for Source, and I think that's
Mm.
great. And my response to that, again, I feel like I'm getting responses, right? And just little hits of information, right? But even that, I feel like when you are doing work for Source and you feel like, a light worker, you do kind of feel a lot of obligation, right? You want to help everybody.
Mhm.
And it's important for light workers, I think, to remember like you're just being here is helping people, and you don't
Yeah.
have to always be actively helping people and using your own energy and resource to do that. Just by being there, you're helping people. And I think just a testament to that is, when I said, hey, Arnie's looking for reading, and you said, oh my God, Arnie, I know Arnie. And I've like, there
Yeah.
was this energetic thing already. You guys had
Mhm.
exchanged energy, and we're already in that frequency. So I
Yeah.
think that's awesome.
Well, I
Um,
think that's a really good point because it's like that saying, fill your own cup and then pour from the overflow. That is
mhm,
so important. And,
mhm.
there's definitely been times so far where like I burnt myself out because I was just pushing harder than I needed to. And I'm like, spirit
Yeah,
needs us to take care of ourselves too. It's okay.
absolutely. And you're only going to be useful if you're replenished and
Yeah.
energetic, and you're in the right frame of mind, right? It's you, you you're a light worker, but you're still human, right? We're all still human.
Yep.
No one has figured out how to remain in this body and not be human,
Yep.
so if you're in this body physically, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, fortunately, you're human, and that comes with, its caveats,
Yep.
and that's good. That's why you chose to be human. Gosh darn
Yep.
it. I'm going back a little bit in the comments. Are you still feeling good? You still feeling
Yep.
energized?
I'm
You're
good.
you're like
Yep.
pumping these out. That's amazing. I know it can get draining. So I'm going back to like 9:30, which is almost 20 minutes ago. Lisa, I don't know if Lisa LeBouf is still
That
here. Uh,
Well,
is
that
that
might be a little hard. That's my mom. So,
that's your mom? I hope is that, how do I pronounce that? How do I pronounce that?
we Americanize it, LaBeouf.
LeBuff.
Yes.
Lisa LaBeouf, your mom would love a reading. Do you read for your mom?
I haven't in quite a while, so.
Oh, well, she wants one.
All right, triumph.
Ah,
So definitely push through difficulties. See, I think reading for friends and family is always harder because it's like, I don't
I
want to
see
get
you
in my own
hiding
head.
behind the card. Yeah, you're like hiding behind it. You're like, but well,
But
because you know this, you don't want your own judgment in there. You know
yeah,
this, you know any situation she might be in.
yeah.
But feel through it.
Triumph is an
Feel through
amazing card.
it.
Like
Yeah.
you can overcome, and it's just so much strength. Like you see this hair blowing in the wind, like you're going for it. So really, really great energy for that.
All right, Mom, you heard it here. All right, you put your daughter on the spot, and she still came through with triumph for you. Uh, that's awesome. I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, so I have another one going back a little bit. I hope she's still here. She probably is. Bernadette. Uh, Bernadette, I just have to say something. Bernadette, open reading. She wants a reading about her podcast and art. She feels stuck. And I'm going to
Okay.
say, I have told Bernadette, I put my email address there at the bottom. Reach out to me. I would love to have you on the show and talk about your podcast and your art.
That would be incredible. Definitely do
Yeah,
that, Bernadette,
yeah.
for
I mean,
sure.
Kim Princess, she came on the show. She reached out. She said, "I think my story is interesting. What do you think?" And I said, "Of course it is." And she had lost her dad, and and live on the air through our show, she was starting to get into tarot. She got invited
Yeah,
onto 2 shows on Sacred Spiral. We created reality. It was an amazing episode. I don't know if you saw that episode, but it was amazing
I
because
didn't see that.
I was like, for 2026, I'm just all about we create our own reality, right? Like this is
Yep.
this moment right here that we're all in right now. We created this, right? We're here
Mhm.
together. We created this. It's all about that. And that whole episode it just manifested itself. It just became its own testimony,
Oh,
which
that's
is
so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, I
I
love
know,
that.
it's so cool, the community that was built, and it just, it's
Amazing.
incredible.
Amazing. All right, so Bernadette is
All
looking for
right.
some energetic connection.
So, Bernadette, I definitely feel the frustration because I feel like things aren't going exactly to plan. But I think that you have I feel like you need to go with the flow more. I feel like you have some pretty high expectations, and not saying that you won't reach these things, but things typically go a little bit different than planned, and that's okay. Things will still end up the way they're supposed to. So I think that's very important for me to say to you. And let me see what card. Universe. This is an amazing card.
Love that.
So, Bernadette, you are definitely tapped into spirit. You are very sensitive, I feel. I feel like you've been sensitive since childhood also. Let me know if I'm correct on that. But I feel significantly 4 years with you. Like the past 4 years have been like a really shape-shifting like energy for you. And I definitely feel like things are going to progress with the podcast. I think you're going to reach those goals. It's going to be beautiful and amazing. And yeah, just go with the flow. That's all you need to do. Go with the flow. Might end up, not taking the same path or direction, but you're still going to get there, and it's going to be amazing.
Awesome. I love that, Bernadette. Bernadette, Did you hear that? I saw that she said yes, you are when you asked her if you were right. I saw Kim Princess. I haven't seen Bernadette's art, but Kim Princess says Bernadette's art is special, and Bernadette also
Oh,
said thanks for the invite, and please come on my podcast. So I have a feeling I will be talking to Bernadette very soon. So awesome. Awesome. I love
absolutely.
that.
That's
Creating
awesome.
creating that reality, right? As we speak. Um,
Mhm.
and you have Crystal Martin saying you're incredible. She's so very
Oh,
proud of you. That's awesome.
that's my sister.
I love that
Got the
your
family in the
mom and
house.
your sister show up for you. I love that. That's a
Yeah.
testament to love, right? I mean, that's really a testament to growing up with a family that has authentic love for one another. I mean,
Yeah.
thank you guys for showing up. You ladies for showing up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. I think we might have time for one or two more.
Okay.
I think did you read for Kim Princess? I think she was next. I saw
I
her.
don't think so.
Let me just go back. I'm just scrolling back here to another star. I know she was here. I think she still is here. She was starred. I don't see the star, but let's go with Kim Princess
Okay.
next, and then maybe one more after that, if you're down for it.
Kim, you have such fun energy. Like, I feel like this jolt of energy that comes from you. It's like exciting and fun. It's just, I like it.
Nice.
uh, yeah, I feel so much new, like, energy swirling around you too. I know you just kind of mentioned her, but so much excitement. Ah, interesting. Stand your ground.
Ooh.
So let me tap into this card a little bit more. I feel like this card really has to do with, for you, just like living your authentic, unashamed life. Like really dig in and just like let it all out there, let it fly, because you are worthy of being seen as just who you are in your wholeness. And I feel like that for you has come a long way. I feel like, there's been a lot of work that you have done on yourself to get to that point, but like I feel that strength. Like you're like, I'm ready to stand firm and tall and proud and just get out there. So I think that's incredible and really exciting, and I hope that resonates for you.
Hmm.
Letting it fly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. She says, thank you. She's got the chills.
Oh,
I
you're
love it.
welcome.
I love that. And that is, I think that's one of our favorite feelings here on the Sacred Spiral Network, those chills that we feel when we say something out loud, or when we have a thought and then it manifests as a physical feeling. I mean,
Yep.
that's just really amazing. And Bernadette is asking, I'm just going to quickly pop this up here. Bernadette, my email is at the bottom of the screen now, Mr. Z1 at AOL.com. Bernadette's just asking for the email there. And Jess, amazing. Arnie, I don't know. The comments are flying by so fast now. Arnie at one
Oh,
point said he loves your energy. And then here, Jess has a beautiful energy. I love it.
oh,
And
thank
then like
you.
a couple of people down are like, yes, I feel it. I feel this energy. Oh, that one we saw already. But it's just amazing. Again, the community here is just
Yeah.
amazing. Ben Smart, love and light to you all. Love and light to you as well, Ben. Thank you guys for being here. Brian, really appreciating the energy. Thank you, Brian. I love when you appreciate our energy, because your energy is just so amazingly powerful. And let me just see if there's a couple. Are they only doing readings on YouTube? We are on right now. We are on YouTube, on the Sacred Spiral Network, or on my YouTube channel, Facebook. Anybody's comments that I can see, we're reading. But I'm going to close out the readings for tonight. It's been an hour, and I don't want to exhaust Jess, but but you can see Jess. Let me pop her banner back up here. You can reach out to Jess at her website, jesswaltonmystic.com. And are you doing any, do you join on Courtney Dawson shows at all? Do you do any? No, you said this was the first one, right? This is the first time you're doing a live.
The first like interview, like live interview.
Okay. Okay, so
I've
you
done
do readings.
some, yeah, I've done some online readings like here and there with different people. So I
Cool.
might have one coming up next Friday. So haven't
Cool.
posted about it yet, but be on the lookout.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, we will definitely be on the lookout for you in general. Again, this community is really growing rapidly, and I mean, I think it's just a sign of the times, right? Like the people who are kind of coming into their own gifts, and I want to connect this to disclosure and just the energetic shift of the planet and all of these things that people talk about in this community, this metaphysical, paranormal, strange and wonderful community that we're a part of. So thank you for joining the community, being an active part of it, and really stepping up to the plate tonight with those readings. Amazing, amazing
Oh,
stuff. Really, really, really good. I'm definitely
thank you
feeling that.
so much for having me and for everybody, watching and just hanging out with us and, being in the energy with us. It's been fun.
Totally. Right? It's like that's what it is. It's like it's not even. I don't really even consider it a show. It's just like a mini little party. Like, hey, we're gonna get together for an hour and have some fun, and that's really what it is. And it felt really good. So thank you for being here. We'll have you back again, and all of that stuff. So just for me, I do actually have the month of February kind of booked up on the live stream, and I know Kelly's got some guests coming up on Holding Space as well. But this week I have Vanessa from Emerge Holistic, which is here on Long Island, but a place that's doing, besides yoga and sound healings and some of those traditional things, there's a scalar room with scalar technology, and she does acupuncture. She's mixing so many different modalities, and so I'm excited to be talking to her. I was at her celebration for New Year's this year. I've got Jacob Cooper, who's an amazing author and NDE survivor, coming up on the live stream of consciousness also. So it's going to be a good year, guys. We're creating our own reality. Thank you
Yep.
all for showing up in the audience. Your energy is never taken for granted. It's always much, much appreciated. And I love you guys. And I will see you. Jess, don't go away. We'll
Okay.
talk after the credits. But I will see you guys on Thursday with Vanessa on the live stream of consciousness. Peace.
Thanks.